Okay, now we are supposed to style our buttons, and we are going to do that by creating a mixin first that we can maybe reuse later on. And we are supposed to have two parameters in, one for the border radius and one for the background color. On top of that, you can feel free to define any new color variables if you want to, and you can style the buttons to your liking. So we should then use that mixin to define the styling for the buttons. So let's try this. Let's go back here and let's go to the style .sass file. And as I'm supposed to create a mixin, I will do that at the top here first. Mixin. And let's call this btn for button. And we should have a radius. And we should have a background like this. And then, of course, we can start with setting the border radius to radius, like that, and the background to $background, like this. And then we could probably add some other stylings. And as you can see, if you look at the windows here, in Safari, buttons look like this, and in Chrome, they look different. So if I would like to restyle this, well, the background will be set. The border is slightly different. So let's remove the border altogether, border none. And let's add a padding of 1em. And maybe we should set a minimum width of 5ems. Oops, we should have a colon here instead. And that maybe also they are slightly different in font size. So let's say that they should have a font size of 1em, like this. So now I can use this mixin down here, and the class was btn-value, like this. And then we should use an @include btn, and we should have maybe, I don't know, 8 pixels and sky blue, like this. And now if I save this one, I get something that complains. Is that the emmet unexpected bracket? Yeah, I should maybe spell include correctly. Include. So that was better. And now you see that I have nice buttons here. And when I scroll this, you see that they look kind of a lot better than before. And they look the same between the browsers. Now, when we have this one set up, we should continue and do the following. In Sass, we have something that is called extends. And that is that you can reuse a rule and then extend that and add something different. So, for example, here we have defined an alert class with some settings, and then we have also an info, but then we changed the background color on that one. So we extend the alert. So that means that the info will have all the same as the alert, but also add the background color. And the CSS code here will look different compared to when using a mixin, and we will try this. So try the following. Let the middle button, the button best value, extend the button value, but make it slightly larger. For example, 120%. So let's try this one, and let's go back here, and let's go to the bottom here, and we had the btn-best-value. And that should extend the button-value like this, and then you shouldn't do like that. And then we should make it a little bit bigger. And as I set all the sizes in M, I can just increase the font size here. So let's say that this one should have a font size, and if I want it to be 20%, then I can have 101.2 ems. And save this one. And now you see that the second button becomes larger than the first and then the third. And of course, I can also maybe say that the background on this one should be the accent color. And then it turns orange. So now we have everything up and running, and we have nice buttons, and we have the special button. And now, if we take a peek at the style.css file, you will see that, first of all, let's go back here, and we see that where we have the include, Mixin, what happens is that it actually kind of just copies all these rules, but of course it replaces the radius in the background. So if we look at this one, and then we look at the button value, you see that it gets the border radius, background, and border, and padding, and mean width, and font size, and color, and so on. And it gets the sky blue color and the border radius of 8 pixels. So this is what the Mixin is doing. But then we have the extend, and that, as you can see here, adds this. First of all, adds it up here because it should have the same rules as that one, and then it should have its special rules. So this is what extend is doing. So therefore, you see that it adds here, and then it adds the rule that should have the specific attributes. So that is the extend.